We're out here today just to discuss a couple different topics for drivers that are utilizing tractors with the Easy Claw system on it. There's a couple things that drivers should look at as they're doing their driver pre-trip or as they're on the road, to just make sure that the Easy Claw can do its job, and also just to make sure you don't have any problems with your glad hands or the lines that are actually being supported by the Easy Claw. So the first thing I wanted to discuss was just where are your Easy Claw lines being suspended. So those are suspended by a product called the Easy Claw Sling typically, and as you can see with this truck, the lines are actually drooping below where the catwalk is. So when this truck turns, there's a very good option, or a very good opportunity for these lines to get caught on these quarter fenders. So one way we can fix that, you can see that these lines are tight up to the Easy Claw. So as we come up to the Easy Claw itself, it's mounted on the back of the cab, and then you've got your Easy Claw Sling here. So lines come up, they're drooping a little bit low. So one thing that we can do to fix that is we can take and move the actual area where the sling is mounted. So if we put a little bit, maybe 6 to 8 inches one way versus the other, to bring that up. So now you can hook the sling back in. So I've moved the sling, hook it back into the Easy Claw, and now as we come back down here, these lines are suspended higher above the catwalk. So you want to make sure the back side of these lines are suspended above the catwalk. Point number 2 that we want to make sure is that there's enough tension on the Easy Claw tensioner. So if the truck is pulling straight and connected to the trailer and you see that the Easy Claw is hanging out, we need to adjust that tension. So what you want is the Easy Claw to be fully retracted when the truck is pulling straight. If it is hanging out like this, there needs to be an adjustment made to the Easy Claw itself. That can be done by scanning this QR code. It takes you to a video that shows how to adjust that. But as a driver, I would recommend maybe making note on that truck that the Easy Claw needs to be tightened, so your maintenance department can do that. It's a very simple process, but you will need some tools, so you're probably not going to do it while you're out on the road. So just make a note for your maintenance team, and then once we get that tightened, then the Easy Claw should be holding everything up, that extra 4 to 6 inches to keep your lines up off the catwalk. So another issue or item that we often see is people don't install the Easy Claw Sling correctly. So on this truck, the Easy Claw Sling is actually just, the 3-in-1 line is just slid through the Easy Claw Sling. So when this happens and the truck turns, then that sling can move back and forth on the 3-in-1 line. It's also holding the lines much lower. So as you see in this situation, the Easy Claw Sling is not installed correctly. So as you saw in the previous clip, they had just slid the Easy Claw through the 3-in-1 line through the sling. Obviously having problems with the line moving as they install. So I was going to show you exactly how to install. So what you want to do is wrap the Easy Claw Sling around the line and then pull it back in, kind of like a slip knot. Now that line will not move back and forth as you put the weight of the lines on, and then you'll install it back onto the Easy Claw tensioner. And now your lines are adequately supported, adequately just tensioned down on the line. So now your line is again up 6 or 8 inches above the catwalk on the backside, and now you should not have any trouble with your glad hands and electrical lines on your trucks. So right now this truck's set up pretty well. So you've got about 8 inches on the backside. Your 3-in-1 lines are about 8 inches above the catwalk, out of the way of any quarter fenders, the lines getting caught on that. But one thing that we see in the process of going through the trucking is, when you move a fifth wheel. So when the fifth wheel moves, the truck actually comes forward, the trailer actually comes forward, and what that can cause is for these lines to droop. So in that situation, what we need to do is move where the sling is connected to the 3-in-1 lines. So as the trailer comes forward, we can simply adjust where the sling is held. So maybe we need to drop and put a little bit more line on the back side. So we will do that, and then we can just moving it down the 3-in-1 line about 6 to 8 inches after you've moved your fifth wheel. and then we can hook back in. So now that line will be hanging much higher than where it was when you had the fifth wheel slid back.